Hey guys, Andy's Dinosaur Reviews as always, and I just really felt like I had to get a video up about this situation. I really felt like it was necessary to make this video because I actually had made a lengthy post in the community section about this situation, but it didn't seem to reach as many as I had hoped because I still continued to get messages and comments over the last few days about this situation, so I felt like it was probably best to just go ahead and make a video to explain it all to you. But there have also been some new, I guess you could say, resolutions to the situation that I really wanted to shine a light on as well. So if we go back about a year ago, I had a few people point out an artist on Instagram that was creating a really cool articulated mega raptor. After looking at their page, I was quite impressed and had sent a message to them and expressed some interest in their figure. They seemed pretty nice and quite eager to talk to me, and obviously I'm speaking of Artic Figures in their early stages. I eventually acquired their Mega Raptor and fell in love with their products and their style. Artic continued to create figures for over a year, and I continued to acquire them and review them for you all. There was a strong interest in them since articulated figures are currently one of the more popular entries into our community, so I made sure to get a hold of each and every release to review, as I would continuously get messages asking when I'll have this Artic Figures release up or that Artic Figures release up, so I tried to stay as up to date on his work as I possibly could. Honestly, his work continued to just get better and better, and I felt like he just had so much potential. Unfortunately, during this time, he seemed to be planning his exit, and none of us knew this. We spoke quite often throughout the course of the year until the last few months when our conversations kind of died out. He seemed to be getting kind of stressed out about the amount of figures he was still producing and the amount of orders he had to fulfill, so whenever I would message him, it would take a few days to a week before he would respond because he was so busy. It also seemed as though he was still working his butt off to try to get everything released to the people who had purchased. As it turns out, though, that may not have actually been the case, and I know for a fact many people did receive their orders, but he was also doing something kind of strange. He was delivering orders of newer figures he had created while ignoring orders he had waiting, for months. In fact, his first Indiegogo campaign for the Tyrannosaurs was still not fulfilled, and many people were still waiting for their orders while he was making and delivering newer figures like the Primal Spear and Fang. I never really understood the approach to fulfilling newer orders rather than finishing the older orders, like the Tyrannosaur orders again first, and then moving on after that. You would think you would want to go in the order that the orders were made, but that to me would make the most sense, but I wasn't going to question him in the way he ran his business because honestly that's not really my place. So I started to receive many messages from different people as well as comments about them not receiving their orders and asking if I could help. So I started messaging Artic about 2 months ago, I'd say, and asking him for information on orders people had placed, giving him the order numbers and stuff and the names of the people who had ordered. And whenever I would do this, he would eventually get back to me and he'd tell me that he would get the info when he gets into his office in a few days, or give me a specific day that he could grab the order and tracking info and stuff. Unfortunately, he would never actually get back to me, and I just assumed it was because he was so overworked and so busy, but then he stopped talking to me completely and wouldn't respond at all or even read my messages. Fast forward to last week and his website disappeared. Sirat Tech, who you definitely are familiar with if you are a follower of my channel because I consistently promote and review his incredible work, went public with information that he had. He had been digging up info on Artic and following along with the situation. Apparently, the person that was running Artic Figures was named Josh Smith, and he had been linked to numerous scams from a few years ago. Now, I had never heard of this person or the scams that he took part in, but you can see images here on the screen of the conversations that Sirat Tech had with him, where he basically admits to being Josh Smith and coming up with reasoning as to why those scams happened but were not associated with him. Then randomly the Artic Figures website vanished. So as soon as that happened, Sirat Tech went public with the information that he had because he was fearing that Artic Figures was going to run and disappear again with a load of money, and it turns out he was completely right because that's exactly what happened. A few hours after Sirat Tech went public with the information, he had Artic Figures' Instagram account disappeared as well. I have no idea where he has gone. A day or two before this all occurred, he actually marked a ton of different orders as shipped but did not include tracking, so it seems as though he was just doing that on his way out, I guess. So as of now, I have no idea where he is or what his intentions are moving forward. I don't know if we will ever hear or see from him again, or if he will randomly pop up at some point in the future. I did try to contact him through the email address for Artic Figures, but I did not get a response, of course. After speaking to someone that has been friends with Josh for over 10 years, he let me know that this is apparently a common thing from him. I had hoped that maybe this was just some sort of a misunderstanding and he'd come back with an explanation, but it seems that he really was just out to scam people. So since all of this went down, a few people have stepped forward to help. First of all, the one that set out to expose Artic Figures in the first place, Tech. As you can see, he recently stated on his Instagram account, "If you were scammed by Artic Figures, please email me at sirettech@gmail.com. In the email, please title it Artic Figures Scam. Include proof of your purchase and what you did not get, name and contact info." This is for two reasons. One, to collect a database we can provide to law enforcement if asked. And two, I am trying to create a group of volunteers who are willing to print what files we have available for as little cost as possible for those who don't have access to a printer. It's not the perfect solution, but it's something. Once we get a group in place, I will contact you to see if you want a print. These will be prints only, no other parts, and we will be charging materials and shipping. If you would like to volunteer, please message me. Then we've also got Jurassic Justin, who has also stepped forward to help in his own way, as he stated on his Instagram account. "In light of Artic scams and the individuals who never got their orders, I am considering recreating some of Artic's figures to give those a chance to acquire basically what was stolen from them. The figures would be better quality, better design, and definitely not reflect the original price reflected in Artic's Indiegogo campaigns. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to recreate Zilla for legal reasons, as that is an area that I do tread lightly, but I am open to recreating others like the Graboids, the scientifically up-to-date Spinosaurus, Kellenkin, Megaraptor, V-Rex, etc. Since the deletion of Artic's page and tracks, I don't have a full idea of what he sold, so if you are interested in this idea, please leave a comment down below of what you would like to see recreated. Of course, again, that was on Instagram. So it's great to see the community coming together to help anyone and everyone affected by this situation. I've even seen people randomly sharing the digital files online in different groups. There may be other people trying to help as well that I just haven't seen yet. So ultimately, what started out as a great thing has ended unexpectedly and with the worst case scenario. I can't begin to imagine what must have gone through Artic Figures, or should I say Josh Smith's mind, to go this route. He had everything going for him. Fantastic quality work, a large fan base, and no limit to the success he could have achieved, but somehow, one way or another, we ended up here, and honestly, it's just something I never expected, but it is the harsh reality that sometimes people are so set in their ways that they just don't care who they hurt to get what they want. I don't think I'll ever fully understand what all went down and why the decisions that were made even occurred, to throw such a successful venture down the drain to make a few bucks instead of continuing on that said venture and making it a successful and comfortable career. It just makes no sense to me. Regardless, anyone that had orders through Artic Figures and were affected directly by this whole ordeal, I'll include links in the description for you to contact and follow Tech and Jurassic Justin, and hopefully you can get what you ordered one way or another. It is nice to see that in a world filled with so much evil that there are still some good people out there willing to help in a tragedy like this. Sorry this was so long, but hopefully I've explained it all as clearly as I can, and hopefully this video will help some of the people who were robbed by Artic Figures. Thanks for watching.